generation for 11 years. And I can tell you the one question I'm asked over and over and over and over and over again is, where are the young people? Where is the diversity? Where are people coming together under one umbrella with one vision for a future that we can all dream and believe in? When I say that this election is critical, I'm at a loss of words because this election being critical is too small to talk about it. This is, as Harry Belafonte said, about the soul of our country. Policies and about our vision. We do not need incremental change, we need bold leadership. And that is what shiny red button when they get into office and create more wars, create more inhumanity around the world, create more tension, more fear. Understand how significant this is. You're here because you're talking to each other. Not because you're being encouraged by the DNC. Not because you're being encouraged by the media. Because you're talking to each other. So understand what that means. If Bernie doesn't take this all the way, if we don't help him, if we don't make sure that he takes this all the way, neutrality will be pushed back upon. Deborah Wasserman Schultz said, the reason superdelegates exist is specifically to push back against grassroots organizing. More than ever. We need you to spread the message and talk about our future. The youth has been on the right side of history on every issue. They talked about those hippie college kids protesting against Vietnam. Martin Luther King Jr., who Bernie Sanders lived with. Students who said, I'm not afraid to do a sit-in. They didn't listen to us when we said no on the bailout. They didn't talk about how remarkable and beautiful it was when millions of people around the world marched for peace. Before a war, before the Iraq War, millions of people across nations marched across cultures, across language, and said no. So Bernie wasn't the only one who was right to vote against the Iraq War. On the idea of the KXL pipeline or fracking. I'm not going to vote against the Patriot Act once, I'm going to vote against the Patriot Act twice. We need someone who has bold leadership to understand that with climate change, with healthcare, with education, with our future at stake, that we need bold leadership from someone we can trust. Someone who has stood up for justice his entire life. They haven't listened to him, but we are. We need to keep spreading that message because people are voting against themselves. They are hurting themselves and their future. And we need to help them. Because we need to help each other. Because this is about us.
Yes.
Just a party. This isn't the GOP versus the DNC. This is about the 99%. So when I hear someone ask me, well, if it comes down to it, will you vote for the other candidate if it's Trump?
No!
I say if you want to beat Trump, vote Bernie. leader, not Bernie Sanders. As an independent, he is doing a service to the Democratic Party right now. The Democratic Party we haven't left them, they've left us. This is an opportunity to turn the tide and change history.
Yes.
Do we really want someone who condoned mass incarceration? No! That the death penalty is okay? No! Who hesitates on environmental injustices and issues? No! Who thinks that regime change is an idea for foreign policy? No! No. What we need is bold leadership from to believe in. It is not a dream, it is a vision, and it is worth going for with all our might. The future for my children, your children, our great-grandchildren, and beyond. To know that when this happens, in the future that comes, and they go, you know, when immigration reform, education, healthcare, when we were at war around the world and attacks were happening, what did you do? You can say, I voted for the person who turned it. And say this is what is at stake, and make sure that this isn't just reflected here among ourselves and just a memory, but something that is pushed through and we get to see in the history books.